first UN Habitat General Assembly was officially opened by His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta with a colorful commemoration of a plague on 27th May 2019.
Allow me at the very onset to take again this opportunity to welcome you all to Kenya, home to our breathtaking natural beauty, rich wildlife, our capital city Nairobi, and home to our happy and peaceful people.
In my capacity as Acting Director General of the United Nations Office at Nairobi, it gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to UNON, United Nations Office of Nairobi, for the first ever assembly of the United Nations Human Settlement Program.
The one-week conference was marked by election of the first UN Habitat General Assembly President.
I'd like at this stage to congratulate you, Madam Delgado, for your election as the first president of this assembly.
Successful cities in a globalized world are those that have been able to integrate innovation and nurture creativity into development sustainable agenda. But innovation should not remain in the realm of one sector, group, or specific area.
A total of 113 countries sent representatives to the opening of the UN Habitat Assembly, over half of them at minister and deputy minister level.
My name is Ridwan Kamil. I'm the governor of West Java, Indonesia.
I am honored to welcome you to the high-level segment of this first UN Habitat Assembly.
A high-level panel featuring heads of state and governments from Kenya.
For us in Kenya, the provision of affordable housing is a right that is enshrined in our current 2010 Constitution.
South Sudan.
In South Sudan, we started from the scratch. There was nothing. And so when you talk about infrastructure, there is nothing in South Sudan. This is a demand that we must have put the infrastructure in place.
Fiji.
Our informal settlements and in relation to the effects of climate change. But I've made the long journey here to Nairobi because I'm taking every opportunity possible to stress the urgency of this climate crisis to the world and to call loudly and relentlessly for concerted and ambitious global action to address the unprecedented scale of this threat. I was fortunate yesterday to be shown a housing project that is one of His Excellency's, the President's agenda to build 500,000 homes in 5 years. I was fortunate to see that, and I expect that at the first ever UN Habitat Assembly, we will hear some remarkable new solutions.
And Yemen discussed urbanization, the involvement of the private sector, and working with partners.
In Yemen right now, and this is a commitment of our government, are things that we're going to focus on, and we believe that all the plans that are drawn up are plans which will not lead to a growth of emissions. Yemen, after all, is one of the least polluting states. We're currently considering renewable energy. Of course, we have a civilizational heritage, part of mankind's heritage, something we need to preserve. We back modern urbanization without, however, undermining the very identity of these cities. These cities possess identities. None of these cities are the same. They're all different.
Two questions that you may probably ask are, what is innovation in the context of the work of UN Habitat? And why do we care so much about it? And that we have made innovation as the central theme of our first UN Habitat Assembly.
Youth were given open dialogue to share innovative ideas and projects.
See, here is the virtual reality technology. So here we completely immerse the user into a very immersive room where he actually feels as if he is inside that particular room or that experience. So this allows him to connect better with the data that is there or that is fed to him. So in this case, what you see here is that we are giving out more information about the World Urban Forum, but in a very interesting way. And it's very catchy, and as you can see, he's already hooked on to it. So he's really enjoying it. And the best thing about this particular experience is that it actually mimics your reality, and you feel you are there, and because of that, you remember the experience or the information that is there much better.
When we engage with youth, we engage with them as partners, not as beneficiaries. They're leaders of today, not leaders of tomorrow. And these projects I've mentioned, especially in Kenya, are mainly for the youth in Kibera, Mathare, Dandora. We look at strengthening their capacity as entrepreneurs in the urban setting.
21 countries pledged $152 million to support the implementation of the new urban agenda.
I commit that my government will increase its contribution to UN Habitat and Human Settlements Foundation Gains account during our next annual contribution. Kenya will also participate in the pledging session where we will consider additional contributions.
We will have resolutions around the critical issues of urbanization agreed by member states. There will also be a Nairobi ministerial declaration which will outline the commitments of member states on the issues that I discussed here, mainly innovation for a better quality of life.
I really hope when the member state, 193 member states are talking about the ministerial declaration, they should also have the commitment to implement the declaration that they're already going to declare at the end of the assembly. And we on UN Habitat, even though they call it ministerial declaration, is also our declaration and linked to our work. And we will see how is it linked to our UN Habitat strategic plan. And definitely the strategic plan will be translated into action plan, and it will translate into the program on the ground.
5 ministerial declarations were adopted, including the Strategic Plan for the period 2020-2023, UN system-wide guidelines on safe cities and human settlements, enhancing capacity building for the implementation of the new urban agenda NUA, and the urban dimension of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Achieving gender equality through the work of UN Habitat to support inclusive, safe, resilient and sustainable cities and human settlements, and enhancing urban-rural linkages for sustainable urbanization and human settlement.